It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha Aryeh. The question of the week is, how do you know when you're truly free? So in this week's Torah portion, Parsha Aryeh, we read about an answer to a conversation that took place in last week's Torah portion, where when Moshe Rabbeinu went to try to help and take the people out of Egypt, Paro made it harder for the Jewish people. So Moshe Rabbeinu says to God, why are you doing this? You're making it worse for the Jewish people. So in this week's Torah portion, God says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Ani Hashem, I am Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, I am this God which is infinite. And then he says, I've appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob with Kel Shaddai, which is a limited part of the infinite part of God. And the infinite part of God I did not reveal to them. So the Rebbe asks a question, and he quotes from the Alter Rebbe. What's important for God to tell him, I am the infinite God. Why is it so important to tell him? But Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they did not experience this level of God. And the Rebbe explains that there's a reason, because God was telling him that I am going to allow you to experience the infinite part of God. However, the patriarchs could not experience it. Why was he telling it to them? Because why are the Jewish people suffering? Because they're in exile. And what God was telling Moshe Rabbeinu, if you want to experience the highest level, the infinite part of God, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, it's a prerequisite that you have to go through challenges. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, yes, they were the patriarchs and they were special and powerful people. However, because they did not have these type of challenges of exile, the max they were able to reach was Kel Shaddai, which is the limited, the infinite part, the finite part of God, versus the infinite part of God. So in other words, if you want to experience the infinite part of God, the only way you're going to experience that is what? Only through challenges that one goes through. What does it mean, the infinite part of God? The infinite part of God, it's explained in Chasidic and Kabbalah in many places. The infinite part of God, what does that mean? It's infinite. Infinite means yes and no is the same thing. In other words, whatever God is asking you to do, if He's asking you yes, it's great. If it's no, it's also great, because it's coming from God. That means when a person is in exile, what's the main thing? Yeah, it's hard, it's difficult, but if this is what God wants me to do, I am ready to do it. And that ultimately is the greatest level of freedom. So in other words, how do you know if you're really, really free and experiencing true freedom? When you're able to connect to God, whether it's a yes or a no. It means whether you agree or don't agree, you either understand or you don't understand. Either way, you're connecting to God and you're realizing God runs the world. That is true freedom. This week's Torah lesson is in memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information on Chabad, please see our website.